Do you think what's going on in Gaza now is a genocide?
I don't think it's a genocide, but I think I think it is without a doubt true that Israel has committed war crimes.
You wouldn't have said that at the podium.
Yeah, look, because when you're at the podium, you're not expressing your personal opinion. You're expressing the conclusions of the United States government. The United States government had not concluded they've committed war crimes, still have not concluded that.
But your personal view is they have.
Well, so
And they were while you were there.
but yes, but here let me qualify that there are two ways to think about the commission of war crimes. One is if the state has pursued a policy to deliberately committing war crimes or is acting reckless in a way that aids and abets war crimes. And that I think is an open question. I think what is almost certainly not an open question is that there have been individual incidents that have been war crimes where members of the Israeli military have committed war crimes. So ultimately, in almost every major conflict, including conflicts prosecuted by democracies, you will see individual members of the militaries commit war crimes. And the way you judge a democracy is whether they hold those people accountable.
But Israel hasn't. I mean, that's
that,
been one of the...
No, that's my point,
Right.
is we have not yet seen them hold sufficient numbers of the military accountable. And I think it's an open question whether they're going to.
I'm really struck that you think now that Israel did commit war crimes. And yet at the time, and I get why, but at the time you were at the podium and you couldn't say that. I mean, personally, that must be very difficult for you.
So the State Department itself had concluded, not in these, they didn't phrase it in these terms, but I think I did at the podium a few times, had concluded that it was likely that Israel had committed war crimes. But I do think it's almost certain that they have.
How difficult was it for you personally? I mean, I know because we saw the videos on Twitter, on X, of you going home and the protesters outside your own house chanting stuff at you. That must have been hard.
Yeah, it was hard, not so much for me, but because I have a family of little kids, right, who don't have anything to do with this and don't deserve to have to sneak out the back of their house to get into a neighbor's car to go to school so they don't have to run a gauntlet of protesters. I know that the people who I think are hard to reason with this would say, well, that's nothing compared to what the kids in Gaza have gone through. And of course that's true, but it has nothing to do with my children. So I would say in that way it was difficult. In another way, it is just what comes with these type of jobs. And you have to realize that being the face of a government means at times you're going to be the face of actions that are extremely controversial and at times are extremely unpopular. And the war in Gaza divided the American public, and at times I bore the brunt of it. And unfortunately, that's just the way those jobs go.